Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. If you're anything like me, then you have a stash of these Dollar Tree tiles. And today I'm going to show you how you can make some Christmas decor using these. And I promise you guys, they are going to look high-end. Like I'm not just using that word just to use it. They're going to look high-end. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
We're going to use those Dollar Tree tiles again. We're going to take 2 wood rounds. I just grabbed random stuff from my stash. And I'm going to trace them on the back of these tile pieces. And these are going to be our 2 pieces for our little vintage snowman. So I'm just going to cut those out. And then I'm also taking these pieces of cardboard from calendars, and I'm doing the same thing, tracing the circles out onto them. These will be our backings for our tile pieces since they're not very thick. I'll cut all of those out. Now I'm just going to hot glue those onto our cardboard. This is just going to make it stiff and not flimsy. Okay, so after I'm done hot gluing the pieces onto our cardboard rounds, then I'm going to take my plaster again. We're going to do the same thing we did with the Christmas trees. I'm going to stipple that on. We're going to do 2 coats on each of the rounds. Now I'm going to take a tile piece. I'm going to cut a big rectangle out of it and just size it up on your snowman here to determine how big you want your hat. Then I'm going to take a second piece. I'm going to cut a long skinny rectangle to be the brim of our snowman's hat. I'm going to attach the 2 together. And after I'm done with that, I'm going to grab Rich Black by Folk Art and I'm going to stipple that on. I only need 1 coat of this. And then you guys guessed it, I'm going to grab that DIY. Well, first I'm going to grab I'm going to grab the gray wax, then the white wax by DIY, and I am going to brush that over and just look at how gorgeous all that detail is that comes out. I could watch this over and over again when that happens. All right, now we're going to attach our snowman body and head with some hot glue. It sticks super, super easy. I just reinforced it a little bit more on the back so it doesn't separate. Next, I'm going to attach the hat. And of course, we have to accessorize the snowman. So I get a Dollar Tree scarf. I'm going to cut a smaller piece out of it. Now, this is going to sound weird and I don't know if it's going to make sense, but I wanted the little tassels on the scarf. So to do that, I'm kind of measuring this out, seeing how long. I don't know, this isn't going to make sense. You'll see it. Just watch, okay? So I cut a piece out with the tassel on. You could see. I'm going to cut this extra piece off. Hot glue my scarf. Now that other piece that had the tassels, I'm going to glue onto the snowman. That way, both of my scarf pieces look like one scarf with tassels. Okay, hope you were picking up what I was putting down because I definitely did not explain that very well. All right, so I'll hot glue the front right there. Then we're going to add some accessories to our hat. I mean, we need accessories on our hat, especially glitter during Christmas time. So these are just some picks I believe I got from Walmart last year, and I'm just deconstructing them. I'm going to put a pine cone there. Then I'm going to take some berries, and the berries I'll put inside that little green piece. And the last thing we do is just take some twine. I'm going to put it on the back of the snowman head. I like to hide my twine behind the entire image. And this is how it comes out. That, you guys, is stinking cute. I love all of the detail. This could be a door hanger if you wanted to. You can sell these at craft fairs. I mean, there's so many things you could do with them. So I'm just taking the tile piece from Dollar Tree. I'm just tracing on the back of it with my ornament. It fit perfectly back there. Now make sure when you're tracing these and you start cutting, cut inside the line, not outside the line if you want an exact fit. Now I'm taking my Star Bond super glue and I am going to hit all of the raised pieces of this tile. So there's sunken down pieces and then those raised up pieces we want to hit with the glue because they're going to touch our wood ornament. Then I just line with a little bit of hot glue. I probably didn't need this, but added security. Now I'm going to take that Monet's Garden by DIY paint and I am going to give this one coat of paint. Make sure when you're doing something like this that you're hitting all of the edges on the side as well. Now you could paint the back or you could even cover the back with paper if you choose to. Now you guys, I think you knew this was coming. I'm taking that gold gilded wax that I used in a previous video and I just dip my finger in there. I'm sure depending on the project, you can get a brush and you can do like that dry brushing technique that I do with like the dark wax and the white wax. But you know what? I really like just using my finger. That way I could really control how much is going on there and where I want to put it. But y'all, like, are you seeing this come to life right now? This is stunning. It's gorgeous. I love all those beautiful details. You would never, ever assume both of these pieces came from Dollar Tree, ever. And look at, oh my gosh. Doesn't that look like vintagey heaven? All right, now I'm taking this tote bag that I had already used in a previous project. I'm going to take this vintage Christmas stamp. This is from the IOD Christmas collection last year. I'm going to cut a strip of this off. Easy peasy. Make sure my stamp fits on there. Now, I attach, this is just an idea. I didn't end up using it though, but I get some twine and then I just fold over the bottom. That way, if I needed to hang it off of something, I was able to. We end up cutting it off later, but whatever. All right, and then now I'm going to take my IOD ink pad and I'm going to stamp that. This was really hard just holding the stamp without like my kitchen mat to hold on to it. But look at how beautiful this font is. Oh my word. All right. So now I'm just taking a baby wipe and I am taking some of that dark wax and just going around the edges so it doesn't look so like new and shiny. I want it to go with the vibe here. Now I'm just going to take a twine. I just looped it up. That's going to be our hanger for the back. I did not want to poke a hole through the front of this for hanging. Okay, now I get some of these. I don't know where these came from. Mama Mickey sent these to me a couple years ago now, and I chose to go with this one. I brought a couple of them up, but I ended up going with the one with like the present and stuff. I thought it looked more vintage-y, I guess. Let me know if you would have put this on there or maybe something else. So I just hold it up there and I put a lot of hot glue on there and I have to hold it down for a while because this little greenery piece is pretty heavy. I also get my detail glue gun and go under there to make sure everything is touching the ornament. Now I get our little tag. Like I said, I didn't end up needing the twine, so I cut that off and then I just glued that down right there. And y'all, look at how beautiful this turned out. So perfect. If you love that vintagey vibe, I am obsessed with this. The green, the gold, I think that the greenery up top just matches it so perfectly. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and hopefully you can find these pieces and make it yourself. We are going to take 2 pieces of the tile. We are going to stick them together. This just helps kind of get you started with the cutting process. Now I'm going to take a ruler. These are 12 by 12 pieces, so your middle is obviously going to be your 6-inch mark. And then we are just going to cut that to the side, and this didn't cut all the way through, so I ended up having to get scissors and cut it out, just so you guys know. So after I'm done cutting that side out, you are going to go over to your right side and you're going to do the exact same thing. Go to your 6-inch mark, cut that out. Now, since these are a perfect 12 by 12 sheet, you just have to cut 3-inch sections, and they're actually kind of mapped out for you. So you could see where that line, see in that middle image, that line right across, cut it. The line right here at the point at the top, you're going to cut across that. Now I'm going to lay these out and take them outside. I'm going to spray them with the Rust-Oleum hammered. Is that Rust-Oleum? Anyways, the hammered paint, let that dry thoroughly because it takes a while. Then I'm going to take my IOD green ink and I'm going to stamp that on. I didn't know what I was doing here, you guys. I was like, this is either going to come out super ugly and like look dingy, or it's going to be pretty. Let me tell you, this turned out gorgeous with this ink. I don't know what gave me the idea to use green, but it looked gorgeous. So now we're just going to dry all of that down. And I definitely didn't watch either of their videos. I just saw the picture and said, I can do that. So they might have an easier way of putting this together, but I'm showing you mine. So for the base, I'm just using this wood piece. It's from Hobby Lobby. I did that little X shape to find the middle, drilled a hole, put a skewer in there. And oh, sorry, you guys, you need a skewer, you need a base, and you need 4 large beads. So for me, I put the skewer in there and then I hot glued my first piece towards the bottom. This to me was going to be my like guide if I took the skewer out and then, you know, attached everything. But I decided to leave the skewer in because it gave me a better idea of positioning everything. So here's me. I'm just trying to like test out if all my beads are going to fit and all my pieces are going to fit. So now I'm just going to hot glue the second tile piece to the back of the first one I glued. And I'm not, you'll notice, I'm not gluing the tile pieces together. I am just gluing them to the skewer. And this is when I decide, you know what, I'm just going to put my super glue and put my skewer in there now. And then, you know, build up. So here's our second piece. Again, applying that hot glue right to the middle, applying it to the skewer. Then I turn it around and I get the second piece. Because remember, we had 2 pieces of tile. So we have 2 pieces of each section. I'm going to glue that to the skewer. Then I'm going to put my wood bead on. You do not need to hot glue your wood beads. They ain't going nowhere. I will say though, I barely had enough room to do my tree. So you would need more length in your skewer if you wanted to do it this way versus, you know, Barb or Heidi's way. So again, we're going to put that third piece on, put our remaining bead on. Now for the top point, I do hot glue the tile pieces together. And I did that because I hardly had any of my skewer left and I did not want this to fall off. So you can see I'm applying the hot glue and then y'all, this is done. And look at how beautiful this turned out. And notice like the green ink on there almost looks like a bronze or something. I love this. I think it turned out so beautiful and I love that I was able to make it my own, but mix the two. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, I included 2 tile DIYs that I have done previously. So if you haven't seen those, stick around.
You guys, it has been a while since I've said this, so I thought that I would hop back in. Mama's feeling good today, okay? I am going to say it. You guys, do you know what I'm going to say? If you're digging me, if you're digging the channel, if you are digging the DIYs, then please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it's an absolutely free way you can help your girl out here on YouTube. All right, you guys, back into the DIYs.
I got these formula cans and you can use coffee cans, you could use soup cans, and this is how we are going to make our version. So I'm going to take the lids off of these, and then what I'm doing right here, of course, it wasn't big enough to just wrap around and make my life easier. So I wanted to get the middle part. I wanted like a specific part of the tile. So what I do is I cut the 2 bottoms off, the bottom and the top, I'm sorry. Then I go around and you can see I'm like cutting little slices in there. And this is just my marker for where to cut a cross when I take it off of my can. So you can see how like all of those little slits are right there. And then after I'm done with that, I am going to get I just wrap it around. I grab a scrap piece of that tile. I never throw away any of the scrap pieces of this stuff. And then I'm just going to fit that. I'm going to cut it down to fit that little gap right there. Now I'm going to use my detail hot glue gun and I am going to put it on the bottom and the top rim, and then I put a little bit in the middle, and this holds up very, very well. My hot glue gun is the Lily one from Surebonder, and you can only get it on their website. Okay, so here is my little middle piece. I'm just going to cut that down to size. I don't want it too big. Of course, you guys, this isn't going to look like super flush. This needs to be the back of your Christmas tree planter, but you get the idea, okay? Now, after I'm done cutting this down to size, I wasn't going to show you the bigger can, but the bigger can ended up being easier because I was able just to take the backing off the tile and tape it right to it. Because when you cut the tiles up, usually the sticky part falls off of the back. Well, I was able to wrap it around, cut the top off, which is this excess right here. And then I'm going to take that excess and I am going to wrap it around as much as I can and cut the excess off of there. So you can see like the backing and the tile are not, fully connected right there, but all I do is hot glue it back together on that edge. All right, now that I'm done, I'm going to do, you guys, I thought this was white. It is not my white paint. This was Crystal Lining by Waverly, but you can totally see how I mistaken this for the white. It ended up being beautiful, but definitely not what I was going for. So I'm just going to do one coat of this on each of the cans. Then I'm going to take my IOD in Stone Gray ink pad, and I am just going to pounce that over this. This is such an easy way of getting this like detailed, distressed look. I love it. And you can do it with any ink pad color, which is so cool. So if you don't have wax or you don't want to dry paint on top of these tiles, you could always use your ink pad. And this is how my versions turned out. So I love it. I love the round look. I think this big one definitely needs a bigger Christmas tree, but I mean, I could see these done in all colors, shapes, and sizes. So if you have a coffee can, then I hope you are able to make one of these and make it your own. This is the ornament we're going to use. We're going to pop that top off. You don't want to completely bend it or anything because you are going to reuse that. And then we are going to take our tile piece, and these are so easy to use, you guys, and they do have a strong adhesive. Let me know if you've used these like on walls and if they've held up pretty well, because I kind of want to try it in the new house. Okay, so again, you guys, I just traced it out, cut it out. I'm using that Star Bond glue again. This is like a super glue. And then I will do a little, strand of hot glue around the edges as well. Stick that on. Then I'm going to use that Crimson by Waverly paint. And this one I do 2 coats of because I don't want to see any of the silver coming through on this. And again, remember to paint those edges. You don't want to see the brown MDF edges when you have this beautiful red paint. And then the same thing with the top of the ornament, because we are going to paint that silver a brownish color. You want to make sure you get those edges too. All right, so I was trying to go for a rusted look, y'all, and I use Burnt Umber by Apple Barrel and then Pumpkin by Waverly. Now, usually when I do this, I use Truffle by Waverly and Pumpkin, and it gives me a completely different rusted look that I love. This ended up just coming out looking like Burnt Umber, which I wasn't digging, but I went with it anyways because it does end up like going with the flow with our entire ornament. But if you want a rusted look, go for the chalk paints, not this acrylic paint. All right, so now I'm taking that DIY dark wax, and look at this. Oh my gosh. So I'm just taking my Dollar Tree stencil brush, I'm dipping it in that wax, and you can see how this ornament comes to life. All of those beautiful details pop out. I think that's what I love most about these tile pieces, is just they are so beautiful, especially if you're painting over them and then putting another layer on top to bring out that detail. It just looks very upscale, and I don't know. I think they're stunning. I think I said stunning a million times in this video. So sorry, not sorry. Okay. So after I'm done with that, we will go ahead and reattach that topper. And I thought about you guys because in the picture, in the inspiration photo, she has a big bow. I wasn't down with that big bow on this ornament. So then I tried like a raffia bow. I tried some greenery. And then I was like, why are we forcing it? Okay. Not everything needs a bunch of everything. Like it is absolutely gorgeous on its own. So that's the way I ended up leaving it. Let me know if you would have put greenery, if you would have put the big bow, like the inspiration picture, or what you would have done to accessorize it, or if you would have just left it as it is. Because look at that. Oh, I love it. Okay, with them. So for this DIY, you're going to need 6 blocks total. I'll leave the measurements in the description box, and 3 spindles of your choice. Or you could just use like plunger sticks if you want. Now, I didn't know where I was going with this, so I took Truffle by Waverly and a baby wipe, and I'm going to go ahead and stain all 6 of these blocks. I'm going to leave the spindles as they are. Then I'm going to take these Dollar Tree tiles. And you guys, I have been seeing these in all my stores, so hopefully you're able to find them. Now what we're going to do with these are fold them in half. I'm going to create half a triangle, the biggest I could go on the first one. Then I'm going to cut that out. Now make sure you cut inside of that permanent marker line so you don't have permanent marker all over your tree. Take the backing off because it comes off anyways. And then we are going to go and make a second one. Now with the second one, you're going to fold it in half again. I'm going to use our first, the biggest tree as a guide. I'm going to put a notch just a little less than what we had cut the first time. Okay, and I'm just going to draw that up. And then again, we're going to cut that out, and I'm going to do this a third time as well. Now, these tiles are a little flimsy. So what I did was I got my poster board. I'm going to put some hot glue on the back of the tile. Now, the tile doesn't melt, but you can definitely still feel the heat through the tile. So it does get hot, so just be careful. And then I'm going to cut this out. Now our tree is a little bit more sturdier. We're not going to have to worry about it, you know, like being all floppy doppy. And is that, I don't even know where that came from. All right, and we're going to do the same thing for all 3. Now we're going to add the magical touch, the paint. So this is Antique Green by Folk Art, and it is chalk paint. It's absolutely beautiful for Christmas. I'm going to stipple that on here. We're only going to do 1 coat for this one. Then we are going to, oh, you guys, these cutting mats from Dollar Tree are amazing to paint on. Chalk paint wipes off of them so easily, and then that way you have a nice clean space. All right, then for the other 2, I'm going to take Plaster by Waverly. You can see I'm just doing a messy coat on this first coat, and then the second coat I'm going to go back and I'm going to do that stippling effect so you don't see brush strokes on the Christmas tree. Now I'm going to take my DIY white wax. I get this from upcycledbybrie.com, and I'm obsessed with it, and you can see why. It takes something that's like super flat and then brings the detail out of it. And I mean, who doesn't love seeing all that detail? And then with this one, with the white, I'm going to take a gray wax and brush that over. Now, I didn't sand over this just because I felt like it was going to look more scratchy than like distressed. So I chose to go with the wax. So after that's done, we're going to grab our spindles. I'm going to start off with some hot glue, and then for the other 2, I do nail them, but this spindle was so thin that I could not put nails through it, so I just secured it very well with hot glue. You'll see right here for this spindle, I'm going to put the hot glue on. Then I'm going to take my nail gun, and I'm going to shoot that through the front twice. That way these Christmas trees are not going anywhere. And then I'll do the same thing for the third. Now we're going to take some wood glue and some hot glue. We're going to stick it on the smallest little cube square. And then I'm going to shoot some nails through that as well so that our spindles don't go falling off on us. Next, I take some more wood glue and some hot glue, attach that to the bottom of our smaller little square. and I'm going to attach that to the bigger square just to give it more height, more interest, more depth. And this is just my thing. I added Spanish moss to it. You could add snow to it, or you could just leave it as is. But you guys, in the title, when I say these are high-end Dollar Tree Christmas, these look high end. Like, these do not look like those came from Dollar Tree whatsoever. And if you don't think that, then we can't be friends. Okay? Just kidding. Not really. Okay.
You guys, it has been a hot minute since I've done like an intro in person, and that took me about like 7 tries just to get that like 15-second clip in the beginning of the video. So that was fun. I just wanted to hop in as I do at the end of the videos to see how everybody is doing. You guys, I'm going to be coming out with a brand new video on Friday. The IOD summer release is happening, so I'm going to show you some DIYs using the product. And at the end, then I will obviously show you everything that is out. It's going to be 13 new products. They'll be live on my website as soon as my video goes live. So make sure to hop on, because last time everything completely sold out, which was shocking in like hours. So make sure that you hop on, and I'll be excited to show you what I created using them. I hope you guys are having a great week. I'm having a great week. I'm feeling good. Baby is good. And we are just trucking along. So thank you guys for all the support, for watching the videos on replay over and over again. It is helping my channel out, and thank you so much for the support on the website as well. All right, you guys. So have a good one. Thank you for being here. Bye.